that actually got you more into voice acting, especially starting out?
I will say very specifically, I just found out that one of my good friends, Cam Clark, was the lead protagonist in a game that I played when I was 14, 15 years old that changed my life for the better, and which I base so much of my narration now on, called Rise of the Dragon. Such a great game. So I brought it up to him last night, and he went, I don't remember that. And I was like, oh, well, it changed my life. So.
Even kind of like speaking of changing lives, Kirk, you might not be aware of this, but there is a large nerdy culture when it comes over to Hajime no Ippo, so fighting spirit, where you voice the character, and
Yeah, I don't remember that.
As someone that was in a boxing gym at the time of watching that show, all I can say is thank you so much for helping us, because the amount of, how do I say, being a nerdy black kid in Southern California and a boxer was its niche on itself, it made it so much easier to get by.
Yeah, the entire time I was working on it, I was thinking of you.
That's done for me, guys. But no, like the kind of great thing when it comes to all of kind of like what you guys are talking about with the characters and going over to these series are the moments that you have inside the booth as well as outside. So kind of as a little thing, like what are some of the moments you guys remember about just any of the roles, any of the series from inside the booth when you were actually recording? Like some fun moments.
My God, where do we start? There, in the very beginning, I was a nervous wreck to be in the booth recording Sonic because I thought, well, it's just a matter of time until they fire me. And there was one line I had to do, which was, "Kids, don't use Formula One race cars to chase hedgehogs." Well, that's easy for me to do now, 23 years later, but at the time, I think it took me like 10 takes to get it out of my mouth and into the space that they needed it for the, flap in the cartoon. And when I finally got it, I thought, all right, I'll keep this job another day. That was a good one.
I think you made me late for my session right after you.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
I'm just teasing. No, they're with the Sonic community, and similar to my beginning in One Piece, those were most hands on deck that I've ever had, except for the Schick Razor campaign that I did, which there was like 16 people in the room, and I was like, how do I please every single person at the same time? And it's virtually impossible.
Yep.
So with Sonic, we have a lot of, there are a lot of people that weighing in on things. And so at the beginning, it's intimidating, right? But then you feel so satisfied when you please every single person in the room and they're like, yes, that's it. So it's like more of a slow burn, you know what I mean? But then once you arrive to that choice that you made with everybody, it's a great feeling. And I think it adds more depth to the character. And it adds more layers than these like quick decisions that are sometimes made by one person. It's like, how do you make them grounded and a princess? Or how do you make them, all the different layers that you can add on. It's helpful to actually have more people in the room ultimately, but even though it might be intimidating at the beginning.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh.
I couldn't get it out either.
I think she said, yes, the Sega family, who's, when I'm working, they're all, and it's probably different because they were probably there for yours, but now they're all remote. And so I've got a TV screen with the Zoom call, and probably 6 different people, along with the director, are all watching me as on camera. And so, yeah, it's a little intimidating, but they're a family, and they're all there to support you, and they all want what's best. And my story is, I love my director, Jack Fletcher, who's been with the project ever since I have. and he's comes from a similar background of actor training and theater and all this, and so we really get along together, and we're always talking and wasting session time. But when we're doing lines, a lot of times I'll have you do an A, B, and C take. 3 different takes of the same line, and I'll knock out the A, and I'll knock out the B, and then I'll start stumbling on the C take or something, and I'm just going for it, and I'm going for it, and I'm going for it, and Jack says, Kurt, you had it with the A.
Yeah.
Just shut up and get past yourself here.
Are you an A guy?
A lot of times.
Kurt, you're foaming in the mouth.
Are you an A guy?
I don't know. I guess it all depends on the project.
Yeah.
But that's funny
That's
because
only something that voice actors can ask. Are you an A guy?
when we were recording, it wasn't remote, it wasn't Zoom. The people flew in from Japan, from San Francisco. They were all there in the rooms to watch us record the games. And
Including translators and everything.
translators, people that didn't speak English, but essentially the spine, the backbone of the game. And I do have a story. I haven't told this in a long time. I remember, I don't know which game it was. It could have been 06, it could have been Sonic and the Secret Rings. But when you're in the booth, as you know, you can't hear anything outside the booth until someone presses the talkback button. So I did the line, whatever it was, every world has its end. I don't know what it means. And maybe that was the line. But so I do the line, and it's silence as I look out to all the people from Sega, and I just see the one guy. I got to stand up to do this though. The one guy goes. I just see in complete silence. I see him go. And the translator gets on and he says to do it faster. But what was the jail? What was the tease? Why the anguish?
It's like, not only do I need a word translator, that whole thing right over there, can I have like mimicry, kind of like, it's not interpretive dance.
Oh, but it is. On his knees. Nimble, that man. Very nimble.
Well, I guess it's like, since we're well over into just talking about like the entire Sonicverse, let's go and stay over in here. So I guess my first question over actually with Jason would be, knowing that you had Ryan German's Bliss going over into the Sonic role.
Did I? Let me text him real quick and ask. Hey Ryan, did I have your blessing?
I am now sweating bullets. What were some of the influences kind of going from his Sonic into kind of like creating Sonic now for yourself as well?
Yeah, I've always liked doing voices. I've always liked imitating people, and when I auditioned, I'm pretty sure they played me some Ryan clips, and they said, "We don't want you to match this, but we need it in the same world." So I think part of what I just like doing as an actor and an artist, I guess, was to make things my own. So kind of getting a hint of what something should kind of sound like, and then putting my own spin on it. That was kind of the special sauce for me.
Yeah, it's like it's always kind of fun going in and again as an actor taking those little references of like, okay, I can see what you were doing there, but now let's go and change it this way. And especially when the director's notes come in like, hey, that's actually great. We never thought about that way.
Oh, 100%. And that's the other thing I'll say. In the beginning, I made the mistake as a young actor of taking, and this harkens to what you're saying about like being terrified in the booth. In the beginning, I took direction as criticism. I thought when someone gave me a piece of direction, it's like, oh, they hate what I'm doing, because I should just be walking in, nailing it, and then kind of bowing down to me as I walk out, which did not happen in the beginning. But once I realized that this whole thing is a collaborative art, we're there to make, tell the story, make it better, and really keep it on course, then everything became so much more fun for me.
Nice. I'm actually going to be taking that into account because, yeah, for reasons.
Okay, go on. The therapy couch, guys. You don't have to time.
I'm sorry. Going on over to Kurt, when you're given a character as, I'll say, deep as Shadow for the first time, like, what's your headspace kind of going into that sort of a character, knowing that like the series as a whole is kind of this lighthearted thing, but yet you have to bring now this emotional depth there as well.
See, I didn't know first going into it just how deep he was. But I just went in knowing that he's a tough guy, he's an anti-hero, he's quiet, guarded. And so my job is to come up with reasons why he's that way. And so you have to create a story in your mind of, okay, why is he guarded? Why is he so flat? Why, what's behind that's driving him? And you just take that and build those stories from things you've seen. Like, I was not a gamer. I'm still not a gamer. So I hadn't heard Jason, I hadn't heard the previous Shadows. And so I took my, I based him off of Clint Eastwood. Yes. And it's because Clint Eastwood's always this tough guy, and he's always got a chip on his shoulder. And so I try to think, okay, this guy's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's guarded because something has happened to him in the past. And so you try to layer that underneath.
I love that you based it on Shadow on Clint Eastwood, and I based mine on Carl, my old roommate.
Hey, don't undersell Carl.
Can you tell the Carl story for everyone because it's so good?
I used to live with a guy named Carl. He was a roommate, and Carl would come home really early in the morning from his graveyard shift job and immediately light up a cigarette and talk about the book he was writing, which he always had like 5 or 6 books he was writing, and he'd want to get really deep into it. I'm like, man, I'm just waking up. But then when I auditioned for Shadow, I was like, oh, I know what voice I can do for him, Carl's voice. By the way, I've never told Carl any of this, so...
I want to meet Carl. I still want to meet Carl.
Carl, come on up!
He's here!
That's a great... Anybody have a money strike?
Now, this one kind of goes for all of you all. It's the fact that, like, with the expansive universe of Sonic, you all have now kind of become all of the iconic voices for these characters. Especially, like, every time I wind up thinking of the characters, none of the other iterations come out, like, especially the movies and, all that come up. I always think of you all. What has it been like as you've progressed with these characters kind of over this time period? Just like, oh yeah, it's like I am the voice of Blaze, and that.
What does it feel to be iconic? I'm joking. It's surreal, I mean, it's a surreal thing that people come up to and tell you that storyline inspired me to do this, or I felt left out like that, or I had problems with my mother, or I had issues with my dad, and like I saw that storyline play itself out in your particular character and those kinds of things. It's always humbling and heartbreaking sometimes to hear these stories. And we take this on, we take this home with us. I think whether we realize it or not, and Mondays are tough because you're remembering all the stories, the good ones and the sad ones. And but I think it's a beautiful thing that we get to finally hear from our audience that was absorbing all these stories and get to hear how it manifested in their brains and in their childhood or in their adulthood even sometimes. And it's like it's just a beautiful thing to have those audience interactions so like right up close. It's beautiful.
See, and that goes through the actual kind of like, again, the connective tissue that goes through a series like this, where when you really think about series that have gone on for generations now, it's something where there's always that connective tissue, especially like, as you all are talking about, you know, when fans are kind of coming up to you and saying how they're connected. Are you able to go and put in kind of like your own emotion into your performances as well to kind of help connect?
Absolutely. I don't think there's any other way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't ever, as an actor, you don't never want to manufacture something or make something or push an emotion but you know, if there's, I don't know, I think as actors we all just find things to connect with in our performances, in our characters that are personal to us. You know, and if there isn't something, then you just make it personal, you craft it, you know. But that's look, I think that's the only way to act and enjoy it. I think anything else is too performative, too showy, or just false, you know.
Yeah, and it comes across that way. When you do it, when you create something and it's not really there, it's not connected to you, it reads. And the director can see it, and everybody can see it, and you got to do it again until you can connect it. Otherwise, yeah, it does not sell.
There's always at least like I mean, most of the time there's a step removed kind of thing. Like, there was an episode in Pokemon where I was voicing Amora and Aurorus, and Team Rocket kidnapped Amora. And I got really emotional. Like, the director was like, "Are you okay? Do you need some time?" Because I was trying, because I was thinking about my own children, you know? And so it's like, you sort of make these connections, and you know, that episode, I was really mad at Team Rocket. How dare you? But yeah, I mean, you bring your own personal experience. Like, how can you not? If you're completely separating that, you're just like, you know, coming in as an empty vessel. But we're coming in with our lived-in experiences and bringing them into our characters, whether we like to or not. It's going to happen.
There you go. So, kind of letting that kind of bleed over into like my next kind of final question over here before questions and answers. It's something where when you're now kind of, you have those moments. Has there ever been like one moment that you kind of, whether it was fun, sad, or whatnot, ever had one moment that you get and you go like, this is going to go and resonate with everybody there, and I know I'm going to hear about, like, I know I'm going to hear this scene? Yes! A question no one's asked!
I don't know if there's an answer to that question.
I don't think I've ever been able to predict
No.
what is going to resonate. I
Yeah.
think you're just like so in the moment that you're not thinking about the end result. I mean, and if you are, you know, you're not in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
we have to be in the moment that we're in. That's
Yeah.
the cool thing about, like, just like sideline here, but like with dubbing, the cool thing about dubbing is like, you are forced to be in that moment that you're in. You cannot be ahead, you cannot be behind. And so like, there's something magical about being invested.
Yeah.
You know?
I've had things like that on stage where I rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse, and I know that when I either make this action or say this word, the audience is going to laugh. I can predict that it's going to affect them a certain way, but yeah, I can't predict it in VO. There's nobody out there, and it's not rehearsed. You know, we're just creating as we're going. So we have no idea.
Yeah. To give you an example of the antithesis of that, we don't know what's going to be popular at all. And there's a very popular meme now of Shadow saying, "I just love Latinas." When someone asked me to record that line, I thought, well, here I go getting canceled. And it's been universally embraced.
Latinas funny. Adios, amigo.
Jason and I actually, I don't know if anyone in this room knows this, but we were in an on-camera project together. Yeah, I was actually involved first. It was a post-apocalyptic zombie pilot that we did in Alabama in the middle of the winter at an abandoned hospital.
Yeah, that was creepy.
And we were frozen. I mean, for like 12 days, 12 to 14 days. And do you want to tell them about your special appearance of one of your anime characters
well,
that.
so I think this is what you're talking about. I had to. I don't think I'm giving anything away because nobody will ever see it. But there's we're trying to. You watched it? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Rom-com?
Who are you? Terrifying. So there's like a like wacky inflatable guy that has to attract all the zombies out of the hospital, and I have a microphone, and I had to do. I'm like, oh, I got to do a voice or something, and so I was, zombies this way! It's me, Usopp.
I died because he knows how much I love that voice, right? And you were like, I made that choice for you, Erica,
Yes.
because I know you love that voice so much. It's really sweet and it's so funny and it's so perfect.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, this kind of opens it now over to the question and answers. The microphone is right over here in the middle. Make sure you guys keep quiet. I knew it was going to happen. So,
By the way, somebody make sure to ask us about Sonic Rush. Whose voice was that?
It was mine. I think. Conversation.
Hi. My question is mostly for Jason. I think they should do like a Sonic No Way Home type of thing with voice actors. Like Ryan Drummond should be Game Sonic, you should be Sonic X Sonic, Roger should be Boom Sonic. Would you be up for that?
No. Yeah. It'd be an amazing idea. If they could get us all in a room together, you know?
Yeah. I'd like to see it.
Yeah. All right, someone call Roger.
Woo!
So,
Still going to my Sonic.
voice that you think would fit into the
All the
world
games.
Sonic.
Oh, like another character? I mean, Akiza and Blaze would definitely get along. Don't you think? That just popped into my head right away, but I'm sure there's like, it would be a fun Pokemon crossover that we could think of. Right. Is there a hedgehog Pokemon?
Shaman! Shaman!
Oh, it's Purloin, which kind of looks a little bit like Blaze.
Yay!
I voiced another hedgehog in a show called Gogoriki. Oh my God! There's the one person who watched it.
And he was a little nerdy. He was always losing his glasses. I'm doing this just for you, sir.
Gogoriki, remember?
Oh my God!
Yes. The owl.
That's so good.
I think maybe Don Patch would work really well in the Sonic universe.
So if there were to be like another storybook game scenario, what kind of story would you want to see your characters be next?
Lucky thing.
I think Dante's The Inferno.
Oh my God. I mean, there's so many.
I like it.
A Midsummer Night's Dream, but nobody knows that one. Midsummer Night's Dream.
From the Looney Tunes universe.
What's up, guys? So,
What's up?
So, if you had to pick, well, this is for all three of you. If you had to pick any show or a game that you guys have voiced, which one would you pick, like, to be your favorite?
Oh,
I'm working on it right now, and I can't talk about it.
well, you took it
It's Super
outside
Mario
of
Brothers
Sonic.
9. No.
Like any game in any universe? Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I always pick the most challenging work. Whatever's most challenging is what I really like. And I wasn't the lead character, and just a guy. But Last of Us was an incredibly challenging.
Yeah!
It was always a challenge whenever I went in, what they were going to throw at us.
I'll go totally left field and say the work I did developing the accent for the island of Medici in Just Cause 3 It was a lot of fun. So like I got to work on the development of the game. So I was one of two people that were chosen to come in and develop the accent for the island, which they wanted to be Italian, French, and Greek, I believe. So I know it was really hard. So we ended up going with like something between Italian and French. And then like 3 years later, I got called in to be every single old lady in the game. Which is really fun. I thought I was one old lady, so I did the same voice for every single line. And then, yeah, and so my husband bought the game because I was like kind of excited. I was like, well, this is a different kind of game for me. And he was playing, and we discovered there was just my voice and every single old woman on the island, you know, was in a different outfit, but with my voice. So we got a big kick out of that one.
Just another outfit you're wearing today. I don't know if this answers the question, but I worked on a game actually during the development of it called 12 Minutes. And supposedly, if you dial my mom's old phone number from Ohio on the telephone in the game, you hear a bunch of recorded messages that they let me do. I've never been able to find any proof of that, so maybe it didn't happen, but yeah, this was a long time ago, yeah.
Jason, I think you've said in the past that you auditioned for Chris, and I'm curious what that voice would have sounded like.
Me too. Probably a lot like Sonic sounded, because they had me switch the voices. I was doing Chris, and
Yeah, I think I was doing this voice for Chris. And for Sonic, I was probably
those, and then get rid of the one. Do it for Jet in a couple years.
What ifs are funny, aren't they? I was supposed to be Stormy in the original Wings Club, and I know I was out of town working on a play, and they were like, a week before I was supposed to come back, they were like, there's a promo, you have to do it. And I was like, I can't leave the play. Like, I have to do it. But she was supposed to be like the female Gilbert Gottfried. Stormy! Hey guys, it's Stormy! So it would have been like completely different Wings Club if Stormy had been the female Gilbert Gottfried. It should have happened, right?
It is happening in an alternate universe right now.
Woo, definitely.
So this is for Kirk, but this can be for the both of you also.
Let's just make it for Kirk.
So I heard you talking about stage work. So what background in theater do you have? Like show-wise.
Show-wise? I went through a very traditional actor training, what used to be traditional, not anymore. But it was basically conservatory for 3 years in college, where we did nothing but study acting from 9 in the morning till 11 at night. We have classes all day, and then we perform at night. So I went from there down to work at Shakespeare to New York, and then did regional theater out of New York. But because of the training, and not enough people could do it, I did a lot of Shakespeare. And then I had to teach myself how to bring down my acting for film and TV, because I was all big theatrical. So I had to go back to school and learn how to act small. And, that took a lot of doing. And then I went into voiceover, and I said, oh, go right back to the big stuff.
That is exactly how it is. How we said my beginnings were super similar. I got a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Acting from NYU. And, yeah, and my focus was also on was musical theater and Shakespeare. So like my third or fourth year was in the classical studio where we only did Shakespeare, and like I was coming back to it because we did a lot of Shakespeare in high school. So that was like I'd say musical theater was my main goal, and then Shakespeare was like my secondary. But what happens when you go to New York is, as soon as anyone finds out that you sing, they will never let you audition for a play again. I mean, it was so hard that I actually had to tell my agents at the time, I will not audition for any musicals this year, and I only want to do original plays. And that's when I got fired. But I mean, mean, I did 3 original plays that year, but they just they wanted money. And then I was like, okay, well, you're not the right choice for me. I want someone who's going to build the career that I want, you know? And so I did Jane Eyre, the original Broadway cast of Jane Eyre. Thank you. And I was in the original cast of Shout, the Mod musical, as Green Girl, the slut.
I must answer now because we're talking about theater, but you know, we were all raised in the theater, we all came up doing plays, and in fact, one of my dearest friends who I haven't seen over in a decade, we did so many plays in New York, is right back there. I just saw him for the first time. Brian, can you stand up? That's Brian Hobson. Brian and I did 70,000 shows together. Ryan has roughed me up in every single show that we've ever been in New York. Yeah, but that's, I mean, and also for anybody who's wanting to get into voiceover, consider doing theater. You know, it's a great way to get on stage, get nervous, and get over yourself.
Heck yeah!
So this is my first panel, but what's your favorite lines you've ever done in the Sonic franchise?
Well, first of all, awesome hands.
Yes!
What, did you make those?
I got them from Hot Topic like a few weeks ago.
Those are my knickers.
So cool.
I do have a favorite line, and I think everyone here probably knows what it is. You're still so naive, but I've always liked that about you. I just love that line. I just love it for so many reasons. I love it.
I just like insulting Sonic, so.
Yeah, come on, let me have it.
The simple ones are the best. How pathetic.
I think, this is like taking candy from a baby.
This is taking candy from the baby.
My questions are mostly unfortunately current, but I was just wondering, what is mostly the process for like the Twitter takeovers that you guys have done? What's kind of like the process of recording?
Oh, that's Twitter.
It's all like very quick on that.
Right, first of all, they don't let us have any fun at all. No, guys cannot have any fun. They put us all in a room together, and we've got a group of writers, and they write us a script, and we record it, and Roger says some of the lines the way they're written. They blast that out, and based on the responses that they get from that, the writers are working in a room. While they're working, we're sitting there cracking each other up and basically amusing each other for 15-20 minutes between each script. Knock out another script, and we just keep going, and it goes all day. The last one was just Roger and I, so being stuck in a room with Roger was just excruciatingly painful. He has no talent whatsoever. No comedic timing. No, and that's how it works. They just keep doing that all day, and they feed us and keep us happy. And we try not to get their fingers bit when they feed us, but
Rad.
Oh, it's awesome doing a group record.
What's a Twitter takeover? Is that where Elon buys Twitter?
Hi, that's Stazzy performance there.
Oh, yeah.
So I could not resist Sonic fan, just like everyone else here. Alright, so my question, Jason. I never really figured out, how come you stopped voicing Sonic once you got to like Sonic Colors?
Oh!
No, we didn't know. I mean, we did our job, we left, and then it wasn't like anyone ever called and said, hey, you're not doing this anymore. The next game came out, and I just went, oh, I didn't record that. Okay.
Oh.
Let me go cry for a little bit. We didn't, nobody likes to give bad news, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's kind of the way it works. Like, we are used to being professionally ghosted. I mean, not just in that way, right? I mean, sometimes it just moves to a new city and that's what happened. They just decide every couple years, a lot of places are like, we're moving this to LA, we're moving this to Canada, we're moving this to New York, you know? But also, the professional ghosting, everyone always says, you have to learn to be rejected as an actor. There's no such thing as rejection. I'll say that one more time. There is no such thing as rejection. When you guys apply for a job, you get a rejection letter. We get nothing. Nothing. Because we can do 20 auditions a week. And we just, like Phoebe from France, we send it out into the universe in a bubble, and we never expect it to come back, you know? And we only hear if we get the job. So we, as actors, are professionally ghosted. That's what one of our main skills is. We're really good at getting ghosted.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've like played the Sonic games, but like, what are your favorite and least favorite ones? Just like play. It doesn't have to be ones you were like voice acting in.
I never played any of the games that I voice acted in. Not a conscious choice. I just didn't have a system. I spent so much time in my teens playing video games that when I moved to New York, I was so focused on being the best actor I could that I didn't even have a television for years. I would go home, I had a computer, so I would go home and watch Angry Video Game Nerd. In my Times Square apartment is a strong term, Brian's been to it, it's a closet. It was a closet. Just on the one table I had, I'd watch Angry Video Game Nerd. But to kind of answer your question, my favorite game in the Sonic franchise has always been Sonic CD. How dare you, sir?
I've never played any of the Sonic games, just like Jason. I've never played, I've been lying to everyone for like 10 years accidentally, because I thought I'd never played any game that I'd ever been in. But I did play Pokemon Go one night with Lisa Ortiz, who was the director at the time, and we caught a Doduo. And yeah, it was in Queens, New York. It was a lot of fun, and we were like literally running into other people because it was in the very beginning when people were like staring down at their phones and like, you know, falling off cliffs and such. But that's the only that's the only one I've ever played, which is crazy to me, but yeah.
Yeah, we are all such losers up here. I have not played any of the games. I'm not a gamer. I probably speak for all of us. We all work so much. When I get home in the evening, if I sat down in front of a game console, my kids and my wife it would be over. And my acting career would be over, and I'd be 6 feet under.
Real dark. Is this the Shadow backstory? It's okay, man.
Hi, this is a question for all of you, I guess. You touched earlier on some of the subject matter that y'all dealt with in recording. What are some of the more, I guess, interesting subject matters that you found that, like, oh, I'm dealing with this in Sonic or in such and such that you run into that, like, kind of...
Maybe something quite unusual that we
or
encountered as in our character? Oh God, there was a video game I did years ago called White Day. Has anyone played that? And I didn't know until we got to the end of the game that I was, oh God, I don't want to spoil it, that I was evil. Didn't know I was evil. They didn't know I was a ghost. And I didn't know, that I died in a fire in the school. So it was like really cool to be going through the game in real time and not know really like the whole ending. Like I think they did that on purpose so that I was surprised in the moment and stuff. But that was kind of unusual. I mean, a lot of times we don't know what's gonna happen at the end, but that was like a huge, like, whoa, I didn't even know I wasn't alive. You know? It's kind of neat. Any weird subject matter that happened?
The only thing, that I did was it was unusual because I'm usually putting the voice onto somebody else. But once for Blur Animation, who I just, anytime I can work for Blur, I will. They asked me to do performance capture and facial cap for Halo, the Master Chief series, and I did Commander Hood, who is can't remember the name, but famous actor. And so I went in the big dome of 10,000 cameras, and they captured my face. So it was my face and my body, but his voice, which is exactly the opposite way that I usually work. And so I went to they had Blur did a airing of it. They had a big screen, and I look up and I went, that doesn't look like me, Damn. It's really weird.
I don't know if this answered the question, but there's a kind of popular movie I can't name that I did all the vomit sounds for the lead character, so you're welcome.
This guy.
Yep.
Yeah, so like he gets off the bus.
I knew the guy somebody going
to it.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I definitely see it.
All the male and female zombies in the Walking Dead game in Las Vegas.
Oh.
Didn't even know what we were working on because it was a very NDA, but I knew I was a zombie, obviously.
Ooh, that's cool.
Hello, my question is for all three of you. So voicing characters as popular as Sonic, Blaze, and Shadow, there's an aftermath with the fan base where you're all of a sudden associated with that character from then on out. How do you internalize and accept, so I'm going to be known as the voice of Sonic from here on out, the voice of Blaze, and the voice of Shadow?
Well, it's an honor. I think that's the first realization of that is it's surreal because for anybody to associate me with something that was so impactful in their life, it's a blessing, it's an honor, and I'll never get used to that. I don't think there's anything in me that's like, yeah, I'm used to that. That's old. Every single convention, every single time, fan interaction, anything, I just realize how lucky I am to be able to do that sort of thing.
Same. I mean, same thing. It is funny. I'll sidebar and say that I've had people come up to me dressed as Espeon, and I thought they were Blaze the Cat. And then there was this one time where this girl wouldn't tell me which one she was. I just was like, oh, are you Blaze or are you Espeon? And she was like, I. And then she said, Espeon. And I was like, oh, she was so cute. So I took a picture with her and I put it on the internet, and then I got like 100 DMs that was like, that's not Espeon, that's Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's. Apparently she also looks exactly like the two of them. I was wondering, like, why does she have a bow tie on? That's so cute.
It's interesting because we do hundreds of roles, and we never know which one is going to resonate. When I took Shadow, I wasn't a gamer, so I didn't know what I got until I came to the convention and I went, oh, this one did. He resonates. So yeah, people would do a role and say, oh my god, this is an incredible role. Crickets, So and then once it gets, it just feels blessed.
Thank you. And you asked that question like a journalist, very beautifully.
Hello. Hi. So my question is for Jason and Kirk. If there was like an all-out brawl between Jason's Shadow, Kirk's Shadow, Keanu's Shadow, Sonic Prime Shadow, Sonic Adventure 2 Shadow, Sonic Shadows, who do you think would come out on top and why?
Blaze the Cat.
Wow, top it!
Obviously combust, I think. It would just be an explosion of cool. Black and red rain. Nobody asked us about Sonic Rush.
I was going to Sonic Rush question. I'm sorry. How's it going, guys? I decided to match you with the Double King Ice.
Yeah, bro.
So I got a question for you. A lot of people, will compare how you sounded as Sonic in Sonic X, and how you sounded like Sonic Unleashed and the Black Knight. What was the different voice direction that you were given, or what did you do differently between, the early days and the modern days with Sonic? Like, what was different? Because your voice is different.
Well, Sonic X was certainly based on whatever clips they showed me. So, if he sounded a little more meek, or I always say kind of like nerdy, because he's a little bit like I'm here. One or two of the producers just said for the games we just wanted to feel a little more like an action hero, a little cooler. Not that the other one was bad, but it's like for the games now it's high action, So
It was actually him as Ditto being Sonic.
whatever that means. But for
I'll
a lady,
explain to you later.
he just had to sound cooler. So I just started going to the gym more. Thank you, buddy.
So
Yeah,
question for
I was
all
like,
of
yeah,
you.
but
You've
I'm gonna
all
make
done
it.
roles over the years, and I was wondering, what's like a particular role, kind of character, a specific project you've always wanted to work on? Just pick up like that.
I'm working on it right now. I can't talk about it.
It's the truth, right? It's
the truth.
Yes, it's the truth. Every time I ask him, what's going on? He's like,
I don't know.
I can't talk about it.
I'm revoicing Clint Eastwood in every movie. Sorry.
I love voicing villains. I mean, I've had the pleasure of voicing a lot of villains in my life, but I'm always looking for my next big iconic villain role. I loved voicing Elvira in, oh my god, I'm forgetting the name of it. That's so bad. But she's basically like Marilyn Monroe, but she's a villain and she's feeding the king cookies to make him fall in love with her. So I love when the villain has a sense of humor. So I love comedic villains. So bring them my way. Anybody writing anything? Yeah. That's my favorite type of role. But it also would be really cool to be Wonder Woman. I do my own theme song. You know what I'm saying?
No, there's nothing I really covet. Trying to think.
Just my neighbor.
Yeah. I'd have to go with you. The villains. The villains are always the most fun. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, question for all three of you. If you had the chance to redo your performance for any project you worked on, which one would you choose?
Is there anything I was unsatisfied with?
I would like to redub Sonic X.
Yeah!
I hadn't seen it in so long, and when I finally did, I went, oh, that's what I sounded like? That looks so much better,
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's a tough one. One Piece. Oh, that was perfect.
I mean, okay, it would have been great to be able to do a more direct translation for sure. That would be amazing. But yeah, that would be amazing. But we got to use the more direct translation and didn't have to change it for Saturday morning standards and practices. If we didn't have to protect the children, then remember what we said?
Yeah.
Grandma and grandpa, you may have learned how to swear from your grandma and grandpa, but you didn't learn from 4Kids.
Damn straight.
You know, darling, I saw you eating your Wheaties this morning.
Oh, those were Funyuns. Trying to
It was
get
naked.
only way to stack them.
It's tough. I did a game recently that tanked, and if I could do it again and have it not tank, that would be great. It was a game called Mind's Eye, and I played the Colonel, and it was performance capture, so it's me. And the few cutscenes I saw, I would have done a little bit less. A little less acting.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, your director really affects your performance. You come in with your ideas, but if their idea is different than yours, you got to pivot right away. And that's the sign of a real professional.
Yeah.
Okay, for Kerr, can you say this in Shadow the Hedgehog?
This. That was easy.
Out of all the roles you played for Shadow the Hedgehog, out of all the games, which one was your favorite?
Oh, let's see, that's a tough one. Sonic X Shadow Generations.
It wasn't Sonic 06. Are we playing a game where you have to guess which game is on your forehead?
That's Black Knight.
Yeah, we're...
Aww.
Up to hate it. Where were you in 06?
I was fine. My question is just for Jason. I'm sorry.
Cover your ears.
Which voice do you like doing more, Sonic or Elvis?
I mean, come on, Elvis has got to do it. You know, Elvis changed my life. And when he gets into the stuttering thing, where you all see Blue Hawaii. Come on, Erica, let's hear your Elvis. Love you.
What's the hot dog one? Isn't there one? Dog one? What is that one? Hot dog. Thank you. That's a little better.
Hot dog.
Crying all the time.
Hey, you ain't never had no mustard.
Peace of mind. And now from now on, it'll be known as I ain't nothing but a hot dog.
Hey fellas, thank you so much for coming to here, and you asked for it, I'm delivering it. Sonic Rush or Sonic Rush Adventure?
Oh! That's a tough one. Ooh.
Sonic Rush. Sonic Rush.
Well, I don't know, but I do have...
Are we in Adventure? Are we in that one?
Yeah, we're in it.
Okay.
I think they must have recycled all the lines, and I have them all right here. So I'm going to go through the entire game of Sonic Rush for you right now.
Woo! Yeah!
And you can chime in if you want.
Okay.
Kirk, if you want as well.
Sure.
Okay, turn this mic back on. Yeah, I heard.
Ow! Cool! Alright, here we go! Let's do it! See you, Blaze!
See you, Sonic.
Blaze, it's closing in on you!
Sonic, it's closing in on you.
Oh!
Is that one of my lines?
I need readers. This one's good.
Yes!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yes.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah! Yes!
Oh yeah. I didn't say that.
How is that?
That was great.
Oh, thank you. I really feel this is really productive. Then I say, Sonic the Hedgehog. And then I say, Sonic and Blaze.
Sonic and Blaze.
And then I say, should we try this again?
Let's do it again.
Then we both say at the same time, Sonic Rush. Exactly like that. And then
We say it in slow motion.
last but not least,
Sonic slow.
Rush motion. Is that it? We got the entire game for you. Thank you for being the only person on my side in this crowd. Sure, wherever you are.
I wish I'd written my lines down. Then I could have responded more properly.
Hi, how you doing? I specifically was curious about with the more story-driven Sonic games like Sonic 06 and Sonic and Black Knight. Mostly a question for both Erica and Jason. Which of those felt particularly special?
The Black Knight felt very special to me because I was so personal. And because of my Shakespeare background. So it was really cool. I kind of like elevated her speech a little bit and kind of put a teeny bit of my Shakespeare flair into it. So I love the fact that it was a character within a character kind of thing. I thought that was a lot of fun.
I'll say Black Knight only in hindsight because it seems to be so important to so many people. I don't remember recording it. I feel like we sometimes recorded multiple games at once, so it's hard to keep track of like which one is which. But Black Knight seems to have impacted the majority of the people. So
Thank you.
Mr. Voorhees. Here we go, guys. And then right now we've only got like time for this last question right over here.
Sorry, guys. Come to our table and ask us questions. We'd love to answer them.
Hello, it's great to see you guys again. And so my question is, even though 4Kids Entertainment was infamous for censorship amongst other things, how did you manage all that?
A lot of times we didn't actually get to see the translation, we only got the adaptation. So a lot of times we didn't know what was being changed. But I think we appreciated a lot of it for the sake of the kids. You know, we didn't really want, Saturday morning was the most strict. Those standards and practices were very strict, and we were there to create a content for children. And so some of the censorship did make a lot of sense. And then some of it was completely random and, you know, from left field. But even with some of that, I think it was the idea of having to acclimate an American audience into anime when probably only 10% of the audience that was watching had ever seen anime in its truest form. So eventually, I think as the shows went on, there was less censorship. But from our point of view, or at least I'll speak from my own, what you don't know won't hurt you. You know what I mean? And I do think that we were doing a good job. The kids were very much involved. We had, you know, a large audience of people enjoying it. And then meeting everyone like 20 years later as they grew up, and you get to hear how much these roles meant to them and these shows meant to them, then I feel like it was the right thing to do at the time, you know? It was, you gotta look at the timetable in which things are being done to understand them completely. And what about you, Jason?
I don't know. I just know that the one guy's cigarette turned into a lollipop, so.
Was there ever 2 lollipops or just 1?
No, there might have been 2 lollipops. Different flavors.
I mean, some of it we found very amusing, for sure. Some of it, like that. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
There we go. And guys, thank you so much. One more round. Anyway, thank you very much and have yourself a great time.